Hi, welcome to AM Prime right here on the Content Capital WESN. I'm Leanne Jones. It's the start of a brand new work week, so we give thanks this morning for health and strength. It's Motivational Mondays here on AM Prime, so we start off this morning with a motivational tip. This one is for those of you who've been getting ready for Carnival 2023. It's right around the corner. So for those of you ladies and gents who've been working hard towards getting that body in shape for the greatest show on earth, here's a tip on how to stay motivated and stick to that exercise or fitness program that you've been working so hard on. Remember your goals. Take the time, if you haven't done so already, write it down. Add it to your vision board. Remember, motivation comes from within. Picture yourself on the road in your costume and keep on keeping on. We are going to be joined this morning, by creators of the podcast Youth Space No Holds Barred. They have planned season 2 for their upcoming podcast, and we're going to be hearing more about what they have planned for us a little later on in the show. We're also going to hear from film director and co-founder of Ream's Gourmet Granola, and that is Stephen Taylor. In the second hour, we have our Carnival conversation coming up with Freetown Collective. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the issue of human trafficking and modern-day slavery. We're going to be talking with a team from Free the Slaves movement. So we're taking a quick break, and we hope you stay with us.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on What's Up Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
What's Up Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
Meet me in the Barakan. Make sure you get tickets early, got them tickets selling already. We have icons, yes, we have legends, and the young upcoming sensations. Become party, social commentary. We have something for everybody. Pressure for them, joker, faker, and lows. Come to Kaiso House.
Kaiso House in the Barakan, Queen's Park, Savannah, January 27th to February 17th, 2023. Tickets available at
Kaiso House in the Savannah, Crosskeys Music Center, St. James, Kamule Restaurant, San Fernando, Ursa Complex, Grand Bazaar, and Tuko Main Office, Jerningham Avenue, Belmont. Meet me in the Barakan.
I am Rondell Donowa, attorney at law and host of Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Strictly Legal is a legal program geared towards informing you, the public, of your legal rights, responsibilities, and remedies. So be viewing Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Welcome back. Joining us in this morning, Dr. Giselle Balfour, Head of Programs at Free the Slaves, and Mr. Adrian Alexander. He's the Advocacy and Movement Building Country Manager at Free the Slaves. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Having us.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Okay, so let's begin with just getting an idea of modern slavery. What does modern slavery look like? What do we mean when we speak about modern slavery?
So modern slavery doesn't have one look, but the general understanding is that it is the exploitation of people for commercial gain. So we're kind of, when we talk about slavery, what is happening, right? We are exploiting individuals. You might hear the term human trafficking used most commonly, but there are so many other forms of modern slavery, like child labor, forced marriage, any number of things where people are exploited, their rights are taken away from them. We consider that to be modern slavery.
Okay, thank you. And can you give us a bit of history on the prevalence of modern slavery in Trinidad and Tobago and the region?
Absolutely. So this has been, of course, a global issue. So we have, millions of people worldwide, over 50 million people worldwide, who are considered to be in modern slavery as of 2021, with about 22 million of those being in forced labor. Now, of course, we don't have exact numbers for the prevalence of this issue because, of course, it's a hidden issue. We don't have people just coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I am a victim or this is what's happening, right? So the numbers are all estimates, but we know from the numbers that are done. For instance, the UNODC recently launched a report that shows that, this is a prevalent issue that's happening in the Caribbean. In almost every Caribbean country, we see that there have been identified victims of human trafficking and of some sort, whether it be labor trafficking or sex trafficking. It is happening right here in Trinidad and Tobago, where we are currently. And it's something that we, of course, will continue to pursue investigation of to identify more specific numbers so we know, because the numbers that we see are not necessarily always the number of people who for sure are being trafficked, right? So I always hesitate to give numbers. I know people like to see, this number of people. I hesitate to give numbers because it's never 100% accurate. We know for sure that it is happening, but we can't tell you that, okay, 1,000 people are being trafficked right now, because how would we even know that for 100% certainty? So I know Adrian may have a little bit of a different perspective on that, but for me in my work, I generally stay away from giving exact numbers and estimates too much, because people hold on to that, and it's a little less relevant than the fact that it's actually happening.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Balfour. Mr. Alexander, tell us about, let's talk about Free the Slaves. Tell us about how did Free the Slaves come about, and if you can, both of you, tell us about the work that Free the Slaves has been doing.
Sure. Before I go to that, though, as Giselle mentioned, while there are estimates that are thrown around in terms of numbers from different reports, in Trinidad and Tobago, we do have some reliance on the reports that would have been submitted to Parliament. So that is under the Legislation on Trafficking Persons Law here in Trinidad and Tobago. So that act was passed in 2013, and therefore there are numbers that have been submitted to Parliament from 2013 up to 2019 or 2020. So just on the basis of that, and you can look at the 18th report of the Joint Select Committee on Human Rights, Equality and Diversity. And that is a document you can probably access from the Parliament website or from Parliament. And there are over 100 identified victims. So these aren't estimates, these are identified victims by the Counter-Trafficking Unit of Trinidad and Tobago for the period 2013 to 2020. The highest number based on the 18th report is actually 41 in the year 2019. Okay. Right, so that gives you a little perspective on the identified victims of trafficking. And the report also goes on to specify the number of prosecutions and so forth for Trinidad and Tobago specifically. So in terms of the formation of Free the Slaves, that goes back to the year 2000, which incidentally is the same year of the United Nations Protocol, the Transnational Organized Crime Protocol, and the Palermo Protocol, which is an optional protocol to that convention. And that is one that really addresses what we commonly call human trafficking, but legally it's termed trafficking in persons. So the organization has been in existence for over 22 years. And that gives you an idea of the longevity and the sustainability of the organization Free the Slaves. It's been active around the world, actually. And this is not only, even though it's the first time we're doing something in Trinidad and Tobago, it's not the first time we're doing something in the region. In Latin America and the Caribbean, for example, there are activities in Brazil, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. Okay. So those have been taking place for quite a number of years.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Balfour, can you tell us about the work that Free the Slaves have been doing in the past 23 years, 22?
Yes, absolutely. So we are headquartered in Washington, D.C. However, we work basically globally. So we, through our Community Liberation Initiative, we provide support to grassroots level organizations around the world. We have programs in West Africa, in Ghana, Senegal, and Mauritania. We are in East Africa. We are in Asia, in India, Nepal, Vietnam, basically everywhere in the Middle East. And basically through our Community Liberation Toolkit, which is basically 4 modules where we focus on training on modern slavery, what it is, how to detect it. We also support organizations in building up their capacity to support survivors of human trafficking in their reintegration. We work through understanding of advocacy and the rule of law. We also help in building economic stability for survivors. So we do a number of trainings each year with organizations. That is sort of the core model of what we do. But there are a number of other programs that we do. For instance, we have livelihood programs in places like Haiti, where we provide training and support to families. Of course, because we know that a major factor that leads to trafficking and to modern slavery is poverty. And so we work to reduce vulnerability by providing livelihood training and support to families, giving them tools so that we reduce their vulnerability. We work in countries like Ghana, where we help to remove people from slavery conditions, for instance, in the fishing industry. We have children who are placed on small boats and sent out for hours a day to work. So we help to remove those children from those conditions and provide them with rehabilitation training, as well as help to reintegrate them back into the community by supporting the community, helping to educate the community. So we do this type of work. We do research. We do a lot of research, right? We just completed a research in the Peruvian Amazon on the vulnerability of the indigenous people to modern slavery. We also just completed a research project in the Philippines on the nexus between climate change and modern slavery. So we do a lot of work. We do research, we do movement building, which is a big part of our project. Movement building, you heard that is part of Adrian's portfolio. That is why we are here in Trinidad today, right? Movement building is where we do our Global Freedom from Slavery forums, where we bring together stakeholders in the anti-modern slavery movement to discuss and come up with strategies for addressing these issues. As I say it all the time, there's no one organization that can address this issue in totality. We have to do it together. And so by sharing lessons learned and supporting each other and coming together collaboratively, this is how we address this issue. And so as Free the Slaves, we place ourselves at the forefront of this movement in helping to support other organizations to build their capacity to be able to do this work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So you spoke about being here in Trinidad and Tobago, doing your first event, your first forum. Can you tell us, Adrian, a little bit about the upcoming workshop? I know registration is already closed off, but if you could just give us an idea of what persons who are attending or will be joining the live stream can expect.
Certainly. So this is our first regional Freedom from Slavery Forum. So here in Trinidad and Tobago, thank goodness, we've been selected for that venue. And it means then that we can have not only our local and national organizations, but even those from around the region to participate. So we've had actually a CARICOM version of the putting together of the committee. So the planning committee would have consisted of people from Jamaica, Guyana. We had persons from Barbados and Vincent and the Grenadines, and of course right here in Trinidad and Tobago. We have persons from outside of the region who work in Haiti, and those who are from Haiti, like our Caribbean Regional Director, Smith Maxime. So it was really a broad base of individuals coming together, and they identified what are the pressing issues. So the agenda was really formed around what they see as relevant for our region and some of the things that need to be discussed openly, and even some of the solutions that need to be put forward. So for the very first day, we're starting with a welcome reception, and we're honored to have our Executive Director, former Ambassador at Large to combat trafficking in persons from the U.S., Sylvie Bertrand, our UNODC Regional Representative, Dr. Justine Pierre, who was a lead consultant in the Human Trafficking Survey for CARIFORUM, and the Honorable Fitzgerald Hines, Member of Parliament and Minister of National Security. So we'll be hearing from all of them this morning, following which we'll be getting into the meat of the work. So the first day, our focus will be on prevention, and that, of course, will address how do we stop this from happening at all, and looking at promising prevention practices in our region, and also barriers prevention programs. We're also tackling the issue of demand, as our Honorable Prime Minister has spoken in the past. A lot of the sex trafficking raids and the presence of brothels in the country speak to the issue of male demand for commercial sex here in Trinidad and Tobago. So we'll be addressing that, as well as demand that we as consumers create for goods and services made or provided by trafficked persons. And we are looking at that region-wide as well, and coming up with recommendations and solutions for effective prevention measures in the region. The second day, of course, is going to be slightly different. Also, there's always going to be overlap, right? But the second day, we're looking at prosecution. And we'll be hearing from former and current investigators, including those here from the counter-trafficking unit in Trinidad and Tobago, as we delve into investigation principles and techniques for strong cases against trafficking in persons. And you may know that we don't have any convictions as yet in Trinidad and Tobago, and this is our 10th year, for our local legislation. However, we have quite a number of persons who have been identified as accused traffickers, and they're probably more than 30 or so, definitely more than 30 that have been charged over the years with human trafficking or trafficking in persons type cases in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're really bringing a lot of that information to empower our law enforcement officers who will be attending. We're also going to be having some judges, and they as well will be helping to identify the elements for a successful trial. And that helps us all in the region because, again, not only Trinidad and Tobago, but several other territories have been lagging behind in terms of prosecutions and especially convictions. So our second day is going to be focused on those justice-related issues. 3 of our cross-cutting themes for the forum, as Giselle mentioned, part of that research on climate change, indigenous peoples and how they're impacted by trafficking in persons and modern slavery, and also accessibility for persons with disabilities in court. So some of those will also be dealt with on the second day. And on the final day of our forum, we'll be dealing with issues related to protection. And that is, of course, how do we properly identify possible survivors and victims of trafficking, and help move persons from being victims to survivors, and even from survivors to become survivor leaders in the global, and in our case, in anti-modern slavery movement. So we'll be hearing from experts from Trinidad and Tobago, from Belize, from Jamaica, and even those who work with the Latin American community here in our region, and looking at how do we really build strong trauma-informed protection systems, and what do we do when we're thinking about referral and reintegration. So some of our workshops throughout the forum will consist of case studies and putting the participants into groups to really build that capacity in them and help them develop national in their respective cases and regional solutions to prevention, prosecution, and protection, respectively.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Alexander. It seems that it seems to be quite an in-depth workshop you have coming up there over the course of 3 days. Remind me the dates of the workshop.
Well, we begin today and we run until Wednesday, God willing. So it's from the 6th to the 8th of February.
6th to the 8th of February.
Yes, I'm not sure, Giselle, you can probably remind me, are we still available for online registrations?
Yes, we can have people register online if they wish to.
So just tell us quickly, we are running out of time. So Dr. Balfour, you could just tell us quickly where persons who are interested in joining the workshop or becoming part of the movement can register.
Absolutely. So you can go to our website at freedomfromslaveryforum.com and
.org.
.org. Sorry, I said it and I was like, I think it's org, yeah. freedomfromslaveryforum.org, and you can register online. So we no longer have space for in-person, but you can register to be a part of the forum online. And you can also find out more. This is our 6th regional forum. So we've had forums in Latin America, Asia, North America and Europe, Africa. And so you can absolutely read all about those forums, what we've talked about at those forums, and also basically what we have coming up, because we have our global forum coming up in Dominican Republic in May this year. And this is where all of the regions are going to come together to discuss all of the issues that came up over the past year. So you can also come to freetheslaves.net to find out more about our organization, to learn about the work that we're doing, and to be a part of this movement, anti-modern slavery movement.
Thank you so much, Dr. Balfour and Mr. Alexander, for your time this morning and for sharing with us the important work that you are doing at Free the Slaves. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be with our Motivational Monday guest. We'll be back.
Join me, Sule A. Joseph, as I delve into the day-to-day psychological issues plaguing our society. We will discuss behaviors that encompass the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors that affect how you think, act, and feel. Sight, Thursdays at 11:30 a.m., only on WESN, Content Capital.
Sing for your lover, baby, sing for your lover.
But that is not the song.
That is my version for the Valentine's Day promo on WESN.
WESN presents its Valentine's Day promotion, Sing for Your Lover.
Send us a video of the best rendition of your favorite love song for the one you love. All contestants have a chance to win a variety of exciting prizes. Send us your entries to thecontentcapital@gmail.com. All videos will be posted to our social media pages and will be shown on WESN.
Well, okay then. Let me sing for my lover. Let me sing for my lover.
My lover.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
The best birthday gifts are at dbesttoys.com. Shop for the best brands you love at the best prices. Like VTech, Leapfrog, Fisher-Price, Play-Doh, Hot Wheels, Barbie, Cocomelon, LOL, Baby Alive, Crayola.
Visit us in-store at Forces Flagship McBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Order via call or WhatsApp at 32DBEST to order. And remember, we have the best toys at the best prices.
With society plagued by a host of issues, with debates surrounding our urgent concerns falling short, with questions of our future not always being answered,
the conversation continues. Join me, Kemuel Pascal, as the voice of the youth comes to life. We will confront the controversial topics of today's world to gain answers that are key for a better tomorrow. One and One with me, Kemuel Pascal. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Only on WESN Content Capital.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through. Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Is it politics? What is it? Is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing now, Andy.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is it no pressure on Nicholas Ball?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the red, white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
Welcome back. Joining us in studio this morning, Adina Sandy and Kareem Rice, and they are creating a safe space for youth with their podcast, Youth Space No Holds Barred. Good morning, Adina and Kareem. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Tell me, why was Youth Space created, Kareem?
Well, I love facilitating people and being able to have persons share their stories. They needed a safe space to do that where they can share without having a care in the world. Yeah?
And why a podcast?
Well, a podcast gives us the opportunity to connect and communicate because it's in the virtual space, yeah, and it's a way that we could also manipulate the audio or the video as well, yeah.
Okay. And when was, how long have you been doing Youth Space? How long has it been on air? I believe this is the 5th season coming up?
Yes, it is actually.
Seem very proud about that.
Very.
Yes?
Yeah, very.
All right, great. Tell us a little more about, define, before we go into that, define what No Holds Barred means to you specifically.
Specifically, no holds barred, no rules. A youth or anyone who we interview can share on whichever topic they desire to, because we are facilitating and we're hearing their stories. So no rules and their ability to not care if cages are rattled or not. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you say a safe space.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, for you, Adina, what does no holds barred mean to you, and how do you define it?
Okay, for me, no holds barred means no limits or restriction. So we don't discriminate to anybody, no matter what walk in life you came from or who you are. You are welcome on our space to talk and, create change, because this podcast is all about social change. So that is what it's all about for me. Creating change and giving youths an opportunity to voice their opinion in a safe space.
Okay, that's lovely. Tell me about some of we're going into the 5th season of your podcast. Tell me about some of the work and some of the interviews, the persons you've had on your show, on your podcast, in the past 4 seasons, the ones that have really impacted you.
I'd say we had a colleague from New Zealand. She joined us. Her name is Sarika Rosley. She also does a lot of work with the indigenous people where she's from. And what impacted me is how much they admire our Trinidadian accent, and also the similarities within them. Yeah, and it's really awesome to be able to bridge that gap, being in this part of the world and interviewing someone who is in tomorrow, literally in tomorrow, because they are several hours ahead of us. So that really impacted me, and that was mind-blowing to be able to do something like that.
Okay, and Adina?
Well, we interviewed someone from our community, my community, Mova Lavantil. Her name is Jamie Ann Tom, and she was a finalist in the Miss Plus World Trinidad and Tobago pageant. And it was really nice for me to interview her, because she is someone from my community, and I like to shine a light on my community to show that not just bad things come from our community, but also good things, and that is what Jamie was preaching also. So that was a nice interview for me.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit about the how your lives have been impacted on the work you have done to date.
For me, it's the conversations. Being able to have a conversation with someone and hear their perspective on things, even though during the interview itself, we will have our questions already pre-designated to ask them at particular intervals during the interview. However, before the interview and after the interview, that jitters or the nerve-wracking feeling, that's where the magic happens and the ideas really come alive with the person, and I could see their personality shine through. So it impacts me in a way that I get to do something that I love, which is communicating. Yeah, no different.
Yeah, and Dinah, can you share your experience?
Yes, I actually agree with Karim with what he said there, because it's the same thing for me. So I like to say, when I do this type of work, because I'm a motivational speaker, I want to impact the lives of persons and inspire them. So I'm seeing them being impacted by me, that is also impacting me, and I'm getting to network and connect with more individuals, and let them share their perspective out there. So if this is something that they want to see change, they could talk about it here, and we could create a greater impact on society, not just on our life, but the entire society.
Yes, okay. Tell me, what is your motivation for doing this kind of work?
Well, I'm an advocate as well. I advocate for mental health, right? And my motivation is that, okay, if I have a skill, because I'm an audio engineer and I'm also a creative and artist, right? So if I can do something for others which I wished someone could do for me, that helps me. So it's so, and I shouldn't say so, but it's kind of selfish on my part, the way I enjoy assisting others get their stories heard. Yeah, so that's...
And what's your motivation, Adina?
I would say my motivation comes from my divine creator, God, Jara Safari, because that is my creator, and he inspires me to do the work that I do. So when I get that inspiration from him, I feel like I have a divine, pure energy within me to shine a light for others who may be facing dark times in life. Because I mean, there's so much people going through hard times in life and dark times. So that is my motivation. My motivation is to help people, and actually let them tell their stories, just like Karim was now saying there.
Okay. What can we expect about your upcoming season 5 of No Holds Barred?
Well, there are particular topics that we really would love to discuss amongst ourselves as youths and invite the wider community at large to hear. I don't want to let too much out, but this season we're hoping to interview someone who is into sexology, because we understand that a lot of young persons don't necessarily have a sense of healthy relationships. And I think that that miseducation or that lack of knowledge in terms of, hey, this is bad, this is good, or this is the way, this is how this community feels, this is how that community feels, things like that. Yeah. So yeah, touching on things like that. So it should be an interesting, outspoken season. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, looking forward to hearing more on it. Can you share with us your vision for the podcast for the duration of the year?
Well, this chair feels comfortable. I love the vibe, so hopefully one day we could do stuff in person. But I know the journey would be interesting. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to enjoy it as it comes. Yeah, so I'm not a fortune teller, but I do know that there are good things ahead for us on our podcast. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So tell us, if somebody wants to get on your show, somebody wants to contact you, first of all, tell us where we can view the podcast. And if somebody wants to contact you, somebody wants to have their voice heard, how do we get in contact with you?
Well, can begin by messaging the Daniel Rice Music Studio page, and that's where the podcast is streamed live on Facebook. Or you can follow my Instagram, follow Adina's Instagram, and
just give us your handles.
My Instagram handle is Karim Daniel Rice 01, yeah. And the Facebook page for the podcast is Daniel Rice Music Studios. Yeah.
All right. And Adina, what's your handle?
My Instagram handle is Adina_motivation.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So just one more question before we wrap. I have one question for each of you. If you were to give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? Adina, you could go first.
Sure. To myself, I will say, be confident in yourself, believe in your talents and your abilities, and no matter what negativity come your way, use it as motivation to continue going. Never give up, just trust the process.
Lovely. And Kareem?
Well, I'd say to myself, I know it's hard right now, but it will be worth it in the end. Just take it easy. Yeah.
Great advice. Great advice there from Adina and Kareem. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us this morning. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to hearing from you in your upcoming season of Youth Space, No Holds Barred. We're coming back with more AM Prime after the break.
The continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you, what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through? Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
The best laptops and tablets are at dbesttoys.com. Get a Gateway 14.1-inch Ultra Slim notebook or an HP 14-inch laptop at the best prices in TNT. Get the Fire 7 tablet for $474. You can also shop the latest Amazon Fire Sticks. Call now at 32DBEST to order or visit us in-store at Forces Flagship MacBean. Shop online now at dbesttoys.com. Free delivery available throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Cash or links on delivery.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us in studio now is Stephen M. Taylor, film director. Some of you may know him as film director, but he's also the co-founder of Ream's Gourmet Granola. Welcome, Mr. Taylor.
Welcome to me. Thanks so much for having me, everybody in studio in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right, so we know Stephen M. Taylor, the film director. Tell us about Stephen M. Taylor, the co-founder of Ream's Granola.
Tell me what you want to know. There's so much about Ream Gourmet Granola that I could tell you. You must start from the beginning.
How did the idea for the business come about?
Okay, so I went to the doctor one day during the pandemic in 2020 just to do a normal checkup, make sure everything is okay. And I discovered I had high cholesterol. I thought, high cholesterol came with a certain body image and body weight and so on, but that's not the case, it seems. And after that, we went into the car park, and Reem watched me and said, "Oh God, you're going dead," right? And I said, "Girl, you real dramatic boy," right? And I knew I had to take this into consideration that, okay, I have to get myself organized. As you know, we work in the industry, in the film industry, TV, and so on. We tend to have long-hour days, 12-hour days. We're just grabbing things on the go to sustain us. I had to cut that out. And essentially, we hired a health coach, a nutritionist, and realized the power of nuts, oats, and seeds. But when we went onto the grocery store, we found things that we didn't really like. And long story short, Reem and I decided to put together these 13 gourmet ingredients called Reem. Now, I was eating Reem by myself for months, just doing that, working out. And I saw for my birthday, I made it a goal for my birthday to send my cholesterol down, which it did. And one day, before the lockdown, Reem decided, I'm just going to make a batch of this Reem. So we just gathered all recycled bottles in the house, and she was making it, and I saw the counter full of these bottles. I decided to make a little label as a sign of gratitude. I went into my little home office there, made a label, I put Reem. The tagline was "Feed Your Heart," which is what she was doing for me. And I just decided to post it online. I surprised her, say, "Hey, girl, I'm making granola." And I posted it and say, "Hey, my wife making this granola, who want to try it?" That same night, the strawberry jam jar that we had the granola in, somebody came and bought that. In weeks, we had 100+ orders, and in months, we had a distributor in stores nationwide. That is literally how Ream Granola started.
So in the space of just a few months, Ream Gourmet Granola it's in stores, it's available.
It's in stores, it's shipping to Africa. We've had persons order Ream by the cases to Africa, Canada, the US. It got real wild, real fast.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And this was not the plan.
No, this was not the plan. I'm primarily a filmmaker at first, and so this was just something that I enjoyed and decided but I'm always testing ideas. So this is one of those cases where just prior to that, I actually tried out a t-shirt line during the pandemic. That didn't really work out too much. And so I just tested this green granola. If I like it, there's somebody out there who would like it. And apparently there are many people who like it.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the journey. How has it been? Because as you said, it wasn't the plan. It wasn't like an initial business plan, and it started in the pandemic. So how has the journey been in the last 3 years, to where you are today, in terms of how the business has progressed?
It's been fun, I guess, like any other business, right? You discover the idea, you test the market, and then you learn what you learn. For us, I would say, starting off as sort of a home kitchen, cottage industry, something, it was an experience because I'm not in the food and beverage industry and manufacturing stuff. That was new to me. But what I keep telling people is I marketed Ream like a film, because that's where my background is. I marketed like a film, and I looked at the things that I didn't like and did something different. I really decided to hone in on my personality, which people find could be weird or eccentric or rare, but I was like, this is me, and this is what we put into the product. So we really don't market granola. We market a community, people having a support system. Most times when you're deciding to eat healthy, you need somebody you could count on or call on, an accountability partner. So we looked at those things. In the manufacturing side though, that we had to learn, because there is a science, there's a method and a process to making products and making it safely and to scale up. That's where we found it very difficult to find information, because I mean there are only a few major companies in the industry, and now we were producing a product that potentially was a competitor. So you can't really go and say, hey, Mr. Cereal, hey, Mr. Granola, you mind telling me your secrets so that I can build my empire? So that was where the down, I would say. But fortunately, we had a lot of people who loved what we were doing, and they came and helped us anonymously because they were working for other companies and they were working for competitive brands. But they saw what we were doing as a couple, as a young entrepreneurial couple, and they poured into us. Pro bono, free, didn't want a post on Facebook, didn't want anything but to see us rise. So that was the journey there. And then, of course, we like to big up Kariri because they helped us realize this vision and this dream with their scale-up program. Essentially, you know, when you're at home making product, you're using teaspoons and, you know, small cups and so on, they allowed us instantaneously to basically scale up using their industrial ovens and industrial kitchens and their expert advice. And that allowed us to then be able to scale up on our own after receiving a grant and stuff from the Curie IDB Scale Up Grant. And it was just like, it's non-stop learning, non-stop precedent. It's just, I'm in a class for manufacturing, and I like it. I really do like it.
Okay, so the business has taken off. The brand has become almost household.
Almost.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about the ways in which you market Ream granola. And I know because of your background, as you said, you know, it's fun for you.
Very much.
Tell us a bit about because I remember seeing one of the videos during the pandemic.
Which one?
The initial one. There was a scary video. I can't remember exactly. And I was like, yes, classic Stephen. Tell us about the creative, innovative ways that you market it and you promote the product, and where the motivation comes from.
Yeah, so for me, it's, like I said, it's about personality. I think like we have to embrace who we are. That's been my journey. There was a point in time where trying to fit in and, you know, feel like you're out of place or people don't really get you, or you have to like jump on this train and be like everybody else. And so for me, with this product, it was the same. We weren't trying to be like anybody else. We really wanted to embed our personalities into this. We wanted to do it our way. And that's what we did. And I think people just found that refreshing. Most times there's a template. Most times we feel like we have to downplay who we are or change our voice and our position and so on. We decided to not do that. And in this space and in this time, that worked out. And for me, that's the exciting part, because marketing is just how we feel. How we feel, we listen to our customers who we love dearly. They tell us how they feel too and what they need. And then in terms of it being like a film, in terms of marketing like a film, is really just relying on persons to give their own feedback. I'm not trying to convince you. It's a food product. You will try it for yourself. And then you will realize, oh, all of this that they're saying is true. So it's not a heavy approach. It's a very user-generated sort of approach we have. And we rely and we build on the trust of our customers and their own taste buds, because they're the ones who make this remarkable. And that's essentially our campaign. I mean, now we're looking to scale up, so we have to look into billboards and so on, and, you know, above the line and below the line objectives. But it's still going to be happy, family-centered, exciting, light, and approachable. Although it is Ream Gourmet Granola, it's not exclusive. It's an inclusive brand that really allows everybody to have gourmet. Gourmet is for you, gourmet is for me, gourmet is for you.
There's your tagline, your next tagline. Your next campaign.
Yeah, your next campaign.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the vision that you have for the business. Where do you see Ream Gourmet Granola in the next 2 to 5 years?
2 to 5 years? You reached there still looking at just February. Well, right now we launched, of course, using recycled jam jars and bottles, kombucha bottles and all of that. And then we scaled up using, plastic bags with handmade labels for the most part. But now, can I reveal our new bag? Which camera is mine? This is our new Ream Gourmet Granola bag, and this is for our Shake It Up campaign. I'm really excited, and I hope we get to the point where I can show you our augmented reality on our packs. But we are now here where we are ready to export our product. We have it in professional packaging. It has our story, our ingredients, our FDA nutritional approved labeling, all of which we had to learn and discover and find and figure out how do you do this. So the next step for us is February, where we calling it our Shake It Up campaign, and we have our jingle that was produced by Kevin Brooks. We had a team, we had Precision Productions as well on it, Mevon, Explicit Mevon, who mashing up the place with the Patrice and Lyrical. So we had a real amazing team. Again, another example of people really just wanting the brand to succeed. And that's what we do in this rounds. We really want to give the product that positioning on the trade and internationally. So that, because there's a time when we were on the trade doing promotions and giving samples, and people would pull out money and give us it there. I was like, no, you could cash it by the cashier, So now it has that sort of presence and prominence on the shelves, and people are now saying, you're playing with the big boys. So that's where we are, just with our Shake It Up campaign, and we hope to expand our facility now and look at regional export to be able to put the product in spaces other than just Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. Well, the packaging, because I know the initial packaging, like I said, it really adds to the gourmet.
The gourmet.
The gourmet of the product. Congratulations. This is beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
So you expect to start exporting. Do you have any locations, countries that you hope to, or you have planned, or you can't
Every
share
country.
that yet?
But I wouldn't tell you all yet, because we still have to discuss that and see, So, but just know that that's what we're looking to do. We want to set up a stronger presence in Tobago as well, and be so many more stores we could be in Trinidad and Tobago. But there's one country we have in mind that we want to go to next regionally, and then of course. I have 2 homes, Trinidad and California, so I know for a fact Ream Gourmet Granola will do really good on the West Coast. So that's our intention in terms of the U.S. market, to start looking at the Whole Foods of the world and embedding our Ream Granola on sets in production and stuff in Los Angeles.
Okay, before you tell us where we can get the products locally in the local markets, you mentioned an augmented reality.
Yes, so this is
aspect of the
so this
packaging.
is where the crossroads has happened. I'm still a filmmaker. People is like, you're selling nuts now? It's like, no. I'm still a filmmaker. I always loved that. But now I've embraced a new passion, which is in the Ream Gourmet Granola. And I've found a way to intersect these 2 passions. Now on our pack, and I wouldn't show you here, but you could try it, we've embedded augmented reality on the pack. Not the usual QR code where it takes you to a website, but when you scan, you don't have to download any app. You scan the back here. I see I have a little camera close up. Boom, you scan the back right there, and it shows you an app, an interface, and then you point it to the front of the pack, and all of our content, videos, and personal exclusive messaging will pop up in front of you in real time. So you're not going to a website, you're not signing into anything, it's right here. So if you move the pack, the image will move. And so we found a way not only to export our food, but our films, our stories, and have them translate elsewhere. So we don't have the big boy money yet to put up a billboard on the highway, but we are in stores nationwide. And we look at not the exclusive, but the inclusive approach. So if you can buy a Ream Gourmet Granola, it buys you a ticket to watch whatever latest film or whatever instructional video, or maybe we want to feature remarkable people and we want to garner support. Through the Ream Gourmet Granola, you could be a part of that community drive and engage in film and food. We're not just feeding your mind, we feed in your heart as well.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I have an idea.
Tell me the idea.
Of your personality, your Stephen Taylor personality. So I
have
to ask. No holds barred, nothing keeping you back. Where do you see? What plan do you have for Ream Gourmet Granola? Where do you envision it if there were no limitations?
If there were no limitations.
No limitations.
What, we'd be having this interview on the yacht right now. On the River Nile. That's a real good question. I mean, for us, we took a little while for us to realize this was a real thing. I'll be honest. To those of you who are listening, this just came up upon us, and we were very grateful for the support. But at first, we were like, it was a phase or a fad, or people just supporting you, and we realized it built it. So we really had to think about that. And for us, it's to be able to create a facility that not only Ream Granola could strive in, but to create a community. That's important for us, because every day we have DMs, direct messages, emails. How do you do your packaging? How did you get your certification? How do you scale up? Who do you talk to get your labeling done? How did you do your graphics? Did you do it? I have this product. How do I test it? How do I form a focus group? How do I get a jingle, right? So for us, it's scaling the product, and we have a line of different SKUs and flavors that's coming on board. We have dark chocolate coming on board. There's also a Ream Gourmet Granola with sorrel bits. Hint, hint, hint. Wrong eye, this eye. So we want to be able to expand our flavor profile, our SKUs, and be able to expand our facility, but create a space where other food processors, other persons with ideas could come and work together and build our Ream Gourmet Granola community.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Stephen Taylor, co-founder of Ream Gourmet Granola. And we can find the granola?
You can find it in JTA, Massey, True Value, Extra Foods, Simple Choice, Carry Shopper online for those of you all in the US and Canada, shipped straight to your door. And you could find it in many stores nationwide.
Okay, thanks very much, Stephen, for joining us this morning. Be sure to pick up a pack of Ream Gourmet Granola. We're heading to the news at the top of the hour, and we're coming back with our Carnival conversations after that.
Fan Zone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on WhatsApp Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
WhatsApp Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
Meet me in the Barracan. Make sure you get tickets early, cause them tickets selling already. We have icons, yes, we have legends, and the young upcoming sensations. Become party, social commentary. We have something for everybody. Pressure for them, joker, faker, and lows. Come to Kaiso House.
Kaiso House in the Barracan, Queen's Park, Savannah, January 27th to February 17th, 2023. Tickets available at
Kaiso House in the Savannah, Crosby's Music Center, St. James, Cambodia Restaurant, San Fernando, Bursa Complex, Grand Bazaar, and Tuco Main Office, Jerningham Avenue, Belmont. Meet me in the Barracan.
I am Rondell Donowa, attorney at law and host of Strictly Legal on WESN Content Capital. Strictly Legal is a legal program geared towards informing you, the public, of your legal rights, responsibilities, and remedies. So be viewing Thursdays 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
Welcome back. We're going to take a quick look at the headlines in the Newsday newspaper this morning. And it's all about PAN. Panorama semi-finals returned to the Queen's Park Savannah yesterday after 2 years hiatus because of the pandemic. So on the front page, it's a panelist from Court Song Specialists, and they're having fun during their performance at the Pan Semis. And we have Dame Lorraines, or as they term, Pan Lorraines, giving us a little show during the Pan Semis. For the medium bands, and Arima Angel Harps on the back page. It's all about Pan this morning on the Newsday newspaper, front page and back page. So we are going to Carnival Conversations. Sorry. We have with us Freetown Collective this morning. And Mohammed and Lou, are you guys there? Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, good morning. Thank you,
Good
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. With us this morning, Freetown Collective, no introduction needed. Tell us, guys, we're going to jump right into it. Give us a little bit about the evolution of Freetown, where you started and where you are today.
Yeah, we would have started just about 12 years ago at the University of the West Indies. That's where we started. Where we are today, well, we started also, in a much simpler way. We were an acoustic sound, basically just myself and Lou and a guitar writing our songs at that point in time. Over the years, we've evolved. The sound has evolved. We've taken bigger stages. We've improved the sound and made the sound larger. We've improved the band. The band size has improved. And now we're here. We're in a stage now where we've joined into the soca free, into the carnival free, coming into a better understanding of our culture and of carnival. Right? Yeah, man.
And
we definitely.
How has the transition been coming into mainstream carnival soca and coming onto the soca scene?
I would say enlightening, to say the least. Because people could look at it from the outside and make a lot of assumptions, but it is a very vibrant, creative sector with a lot of moving parts that could be deceptively simple, but once you're in it and you're participating in it and you want to do your best, then you appreciate just how much work is involved.
Okay. Tell me how you feel about the love and the reception from the public to your music.
I think Trinbagonians, we get a name for being very harsh critics. And I think that there is some truth to that. But I also think that we are people who are open and full of love. And once we feel as though we are being loved, we love back. So we have been receiving a lot of appreciation and love. And the kinds of comments that we have been getting are people saying that they can feel the love, and no pun intended, coming from us. So I guess it's a matter of sharing of intentions and finding common ground.
Yeah. I feel like every year we have come to expect that, as you say, that hit that promotes the love for the culture, for the people. That's what Freetown is known for in the carnival scene. Tell me about your 2023 musical contribution, your collab with Michael Teja.
Okay, so we have 3 contributions that we put out. One of them is called World on Fire. The other one is called Mighty People, and Mass with Michael Teja. So Mass happened. I went to studio with Tano, who is the other producer on the song. Tano was playing around on the piano, and I heard what he was doing. I didn't even hear the words, just heard the melody of it. And I said, that I definitely want to be on that song. He said that there was a song he was doing with Mikal, and we went into studio and recorded most of it within that same day. To us, that song is this beautiful middle ground, Like I said before, we have a much more acoustic singer-songwriter kind of energy, and we call ourselves New Calypsonians. And we feel like this is a song that, even though it has found itself squarely in the soca zone, it's a new calypso, because there's so many stories being told by this song. And
we also feel like that's, one of the elements that we try to bring back into the space of soca. So we're really pleased with, the elements of the brass and the bass and all these different things in the song. We're pleased, very, very pleased with Mass as a song.
Yes, and the visuals for the video as well kind of tie in the carnival characters and that kind of stuff. Do you have a vision every time you have a song like this? Do you have a vision that has to happen to tie the song together?
Yeah, we usually try to develop a visual philosophy around any of the music that we do. So when we were doing this one, it was really to represent the culture as best as we could to the rest of the world. It was a collaboration between us and Visit Trinidad, Tourism TT. So yeah, we wanted to display to the rest of the world parts of the Mass and the culture that they may not know, because the other aspects of Carnival are so well known, the fetes and the what we would call the bikini Mass, etc. But the traditional Mass, the foundation, the roots of the Carnival sometimes are unknown to visitors who are not seeking that part of it. And so we kind of sought to bring those to the fore in the video.
Okay, lovely. What can you tell us about your other contribution, Mighty People, produced by Sheriff? Is that correct?
Yeah, Mighty People is definitely an ode to the region and to Trinbagonians. A solemn reminder that it is easy to feel small coming from the Caribbean, these small islands, that we are somehow insignificant in the scope of the world and our contributions. But that's not true. We continue to be sampled. The best of us, the best of our genius continue to shape world history. So it is a reminder that we are a mighty people, and it begins with a quote from Marcus Garvey, and it says that no race has the last word on culture and civilization. They don't know what we are thinking. They don't know what we are capable of, because our work has just begun. So it is just a very, very solemn and much needed reminder that while we are small, we Talawa, man.
Little but Talawa, Jamaica, Trinidad, all parts of the region. Before we go to your event coming up this Sunday, my producer made me look at the Carnival Character Personality Quiz that you all are promoting as part of the event. And I got the modern day Moko Jumbi. Tell us about this personality quiz, because I was really very impressed when I went into it and when I read the description of the modern day Moko Jumbi. And then of course there are the breakouts of all the other aspects of the characters that make up your personality. Tell me how y'all came up with this, who's responsible, and how y'all came up with this personality quiz.
You tell them.
Yeah, well, we had 3 songs that we made as our offerings for this season, and it just couldn't be, we just put 3 songs out. So we began to dig a little deeper to find where we fit into this whole thing and find some real meaning behind it. And as Muhammad said earlier on, not much is known about our traditional characters. And the more we delved into it, the more we realized that they are not just characters, but they actually represent our personality archetypes. So as an experiment, we decided to look at them as archetypal characters of Trinbagonians. And we worked with Mark Made Group, and we decided to come up with this personality test. And at the first go around, we were impressed, and we kept tweaking, and every time we tested the results, they just seemed to be spot on. They seemed to be accurate. So we think that we are on to something. It's definitely a gift that we want to share with the wider culture. We want social scientists to delve in, people who are involved in carnival studies to delve in and just see the connection between these characters that seem to have survived the test of time, and why people are constantly drawn to them and what they say about us as a people.
I think it's lovely. I love the idea of it. I think it's a great concept, considering Carnival is part of our culture. And as you say, there are many people who identify with the characters, Even for me, the Moko Jumbi, standing tall, standing proud, it made me feel so warm, and I was really impressed, I must say. Congratulations on that, and I hope everybody takes the opportunity to take the personality quiz. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
We will say this to you too. Moko Jambi is the rarest one, right? So far. We're not getting a lot of Mokos. So that might say something to you as well. There's a very rare personality type so far. Not a lot of people have been getting Moko.
Wow. Good to note. All right, so let's move on to the show this Sunday. Welcome to Freetown. Now, when I looked at the description, I just thought it was really beautiful, so I just want to share it. A place where you can dream without limits, go where laughter takes you, wear whatever you want, however you want, dance like no one's watching, and believe that anything is possible. Welcome to Freetown. I think that's beautiful. It makes me feel like that's exactly what your music invokes, brings out, and I'm assuming that is exactly what you all want. Yes? Tell me about the concert, the show coming up on Sunday.
So a Freetown Collective concert, to those who've never been to a Freetown Collective concert, when we say concert, we really do mean that it is a concert experience. And what that means for us is that there's nuance, right? So within the music, there's everything from ballads to love songs to songs that are soca, to songs with high energy to low energy. You know what I mean? It's an entire crafted concert experience, stage, lights, full band this time. We're being backed by a full band for the first time. And one of the things that really makes our concert experience special is that people come there with the intention of release in all types of different ways. And the crowd is always almost like a family. It almost feels like church, we say sometimes, It's a truly unique experience. And to have that experience within the season where there seems to be a lot of noise, there seems to be a lot of revelry in a very specific type of way. We're glad to try to bring that type of experience into the season.
Okay. Can we expect any performances?
Oh, definitely. We are featuring this year Annalie Prime, Michael Teja, of course, Kute, and Jimmy October. So these are other artists within the space that we highly respect. And we believe that their music also speak to the balance that we are trying to strike. We're definitely not competing with the high energy of what Carnival is known for. It's creating a slightly more quiet place where you could even pre-game for a main event. You could come and just collect your thoughts and feel whole and then feel re-energized and ready to go again.
Okay. I feel like Freetown has a vibe and aesthetic that everything is tied in together, and it's really beautiful. It's really a showcase of the culture. Kudos to you all, hats off to you all on that.
Thank you.
Tell us where we can get tickets, where's the concert, the details?
The concert takes place at Soundforge. That's just on the side street on Mokorapa Road there. It's wazeable. Just waze it. Really easy to find. And it's on Sunday, February 12th. Tickets are $300. They're available on Island e-tickets and at select Häagen-Dazs outlets. But if you forget everything I say, just go to @WeAreFreetown on Instagram and you'll find all the information in our bio.
Okay, thank you. And one thing that I also noted, very interesting, it's open to all ages. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's very important to us. Very, very, very important. People over the years have brought their children and entire families, everybody from granny all the way down to the youngest child are able to come to the event. And we make sure that it is a safe space for the elderly, a safe space for children, safe space for anyone who decides to come to the event. Yeah, we truly are a tribe, we are a family, and we take care of our own. So it's a safe space for everyone.
I love it. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. I look forward to it myself this coming Sunday. Thank you very much, Mohammed Muakil and Lou Lyons of Freetown Collective, sharing with us this morning on our Carnival Conversations. Thank you, guys, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much for having us.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have a watch this that's guaranteed to put a smile on your face this morning. Stay tuned.
Join me, Sule A. Joseph, as I delve into the day-to-day psychological issues plaguing our society. We will discuss behaviors that encompass the biological influences, social pressures, and environmental factors that affect how you think, act, and feel. Sight, Thursdays at 11:30 a.m., only on WESN, Content Capital.
The issue, the continued rise in the price of flour and its impact on the cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago. How should we go about it? I want to ask you, what has been revealed to you about the state of vulnerability in the country because of this exercise and because of what we're going through? Is the government losing the war on the vaccine front?
The discussion should revolve around the common good for the greatest number of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
How do we inculcate a sense of respect and regard for people who may not be of your own political ilk or persuasion?
The communities are now being used by political opportunists. So
when the tables are turned, it's the same way. Okay, this has been 10 questions. I'm Andy Johnson, and we'll see you next time.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
On Friday, February 3rd, at the Central Bank Auditorium, it's Light Up the Night, Volume 3, a veteran calypso showpiece. Come, enjoy a night of stars to light up your night with Tobago Crusoe, D. Alberto, Chalk Dust, Ray Hallman, Leston Paul, Short Pants, The Bagman, and Alexander the Great. Showtime, 7:30 p.m. at the Central Bank Auditorium. Tickets cost $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby St. James. Mesa Limited at 628-5092 or 628-5094. And at the Central Bank box office on February 2nd only. Call for reservations at 621-2288, extension 6345. Don't miss this veteran calypso showpiece, Light Up the Night, Volume 3, Friday, February 3rd.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, The Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Sing for your lover, baby, sing for your lover.
But that is not the song.
That is my version for the Valentine's Day promo on WESN.
WESN presents its Valentine's Day promotion, Sing for Your Lover.
Send us a video of the best rendition of your favorite love song for the one you love. All contestants have a chance to win a variety of exciting prizes. Send us your entries to thecontentcapital@gmail.com. All videos will be posted to our social media pages and will be shown on WESN.
Well, okay then. Let me sing for my lover. Let me sing for my lover.
My lover.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at our Watch This video for the Watch This segment.
Could have been born anywhere in the world. Oh, we give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. Big up Tano on the bottle and the spoon one time in the corner. I'm gonna give them a little something. Yeah. I hear a distant melody blow through the hills of love.
Well, come, let me tell you honestly. Look how it take away we pain. I can't say it in my veins. I find myself down in Porter's Bay. I'm not the same. So got to pay every creed and race. Everybody down in the heart, down in the heart. Mass, come again. Well, look how the place on fire now. Mass, come again. A spirit to bring the power down. Mass, come again. Give them the drum is thunder now. Mass, come again. And everybody chanting now. Look at the people coming down. A spirit to bring the power down. Look at the people coming down. Together, together, now we strong. Together, now we strong. Mass, come again. Well, look how the place on fire now. Mass, come again. A spirit to bring the power down. Mass, come again. Give them the drum is thunder now. Mass, come again. And everybody chanting now. Look at the people coming down. Together, together, now we strong. Look at the people coming down. Together, together, now we strong. From the land of melody and harmony. Yeah. Oh, na na Wow. Music sweet. Music sweet. 1, 2, somebody say what? Mass, come again. Well, look how the place on fire now. Mass, come again. A spirit to bring the power down. Hey, mass, come again. Give them the drum is thunder now. Mass, come again. And everybody chanting now. Look at me people coming down. Give them the drum is thunder now. Look at me people coming down. Together, together, now we strong. Easy. Say, Mass, come again. Mass, come again.
Told you that our Watch This video this morning was guaranteed to put a smile on your face. That was Freetown Collective by Michael Tasia with their Carnival 2023 hit Mass, the acoustic version. That is Carnival, the greatest show on earth. That's the beauty of our culture right here in Trinidad and Tobago. That's how we end the show this morning. Thanks for staying with us here on AM Prime. Be sure to look out for Keaton and Sean. They're up at the top of the hour with Talking Point. Be sure to check us out on all our socials at WESNCC. And for interviews, email us at amprime@wesncc.com. I am Leah Ann Jones. See you again tomorrow. Do have a productive day.
WESN